June 28, 1389. On the fields of Kosovo, two mighty armies stand poised for battle. One fights to defend its homeland. The other, an empire on the rise, seeks to expand its dominion over Europe. In a clash that will last only a single day, the course of Balkan history will be rewritten. Blood will be spilled. Kings will fall. But this battle is more than simply a clash of armies. It's the birth of legends. What happened on this day? And why does it still resonate over 600 years later? Welcome to the Battle of Kosovo, where myth meets reality. Chapter 1. The stage is set. The 14th century was a time of immense upheaval in the Balkans. For decades, the Serbian Empire had stood as a dominant power in the region. Under the reign of Emperor Stefan Dusan, Serbia had expanded its territory, stretching from the Adriatic Sea to the Aegean. But after his death, things began to fall apart. Dusan's son, Stefan V, known as the Weak, could not maintain his father's empire. By the time of his death in 1371, Serbia was no longer a unified state. Instead, it had splintered into a patchwork of principalities ruled by various noble families, each vying for power. Among these was Prince Lazar Hrebeljanović, the ruler of Moravian Serbia, who stood as one of the last bastions of Serbian resistance against a new threat looming in the east, the Ottoman Empire. To the east, the Ottoman Empire was rapidly expanding under the leadership of Sultan Murad I. After defeating a coalition of Serbian nobles at the Battle of Maritsa in 1371, Murad's forces steadily encroached upon Serbian territory. Prince Lazar, aware of the growing danger, began preparing for an inevitable showdown. He gathered his allies, Vuk Brankovic, who ruled Kosovo, and King Tvrtko I of Bosnia, who sent his general Vlatko Vukovic to aid in the coming battle. The stage was set for a confrontation that would define the future of the Balkans. Both sides understood the gravity of what lay ahead. For the Ottomans, Kosovo was the key to further expansion into Europe. For the Serbs, it was a fight for survival, one last stand to preserve their kingdom and Christian faith from the Islamic Empire sweeping across the continent. Tensions were high. Preparations were made. And on June 28, 1389, the two armies met on the fields of Kosovo. Chapter 2. Armies of Destiny. Historians still debate the exact size of the armies that gathered on that fateful day. The Ottoman forces, commanded by Sultan Murad, were estimated to number between 27,000 and 40,000 men. They included the elite janissaries, highly trained infantry recruited from Christian boys, as well as heavy cavalry and light infantry drawn from across the Ottoman Empire. The Serbs, led by Prince Lazar, had gathered a coalition of around 15,000 to 25,000 troops, smaller in number but fiercely motivated to defend their homeland. The Serbian forces were diverse, comprising not only Serbs but also Bosnians, Croatians, Albanians, Bulgarians, and Hungarians. Among the most notable was the Albanian Lord Teodor II Mazaka, who brought a band of warriors to fight alongside Lazar's coalition. In fact, Albanian sources claim that nearly a quarter of Lazar's army was made up of Albanian soldiers, though outnumbered the Christian coalition. On the Serbian side, the heavy cavalry, knights clad in thick armor and wielding lances, was their greatest strength. They prepared for the initial charge, hoping to break the Ottoman lines. Meanwhile, Murad had positioned his army carefully, with his sons Bayezid and Yakub commanding the wings. The janissaries held the center, supported by archers and light infantry on the flanks. Murad himself took position behind the front lines, confident that his forces would crush the Serbian resistance. But as with all battles, strategy could only take them so far. What followed would be a brutal, chaotic melee where no one could predict the outcome. Chapter 3. The battle begins. At dawn, the battle began. Ottoman archers unleashed a hail of arrows, but the Serbian heavy cavalry charged forward with their lances in wedge formation, determined to break through the enemy lines. They smashed into the Ottoman left wing, commanded by Yakub, causing chaos among the Ottoman ranks. For a moment, it seemed as though the Serbian forces had the upper hand. They pushed deep into the Ottoman left wing, scattering enemy troops and driving them back. But as the initial charge lost momentum, the heavily armored knights became vulnerable to the lighter, more mobile Ottoman infantry. Bayezid, Sultan Murad's son, quickly took command of the situation. Known for his speed and ruthlessness, Bayezid earned the nickname Yildirim, the Thunderbolt. He launched a counterattack, pushing back the Serbian cavalry and restoring order to the Ottoman ranks. As the day wore on, both sides suffered heavy losses. Blood soaked the fields of Kosovo, and neither side seemed willing to give an inch. Prince Lazar, at the heart of the Serbian forces, fought with unmatched bravery. His troops managed to push back the Ottoman center, but Bayezid's forces held firm on the right flank. Vlatko Vukovic's Bosnian troops also made significant gains, inflicting heavy losses on the Ottomans. But even as victory seemed within reach for the Serbs, a single moment would change everything. Chapter 4: Murad's Fate and Legends. Legend tells us that amidst the chaos of battle, a Serbian knight named Miloš Obilić took it upon himself to end the conflict in the most daring way possible. In one version of the story, Obilić pretended to defect to the Ottoman side, claiming he had come to swear loyalty to Sultan Murad. He was brought before the Sultan, only to pull out a hidden dagger and strike Murad down. The assassination of Sultan Murad sent shockwaves through the Ottoman ranks. For the first and only time in history, an Ottoman sultan had been killed in battle. Obilić himself was immediately executed, but his act would become the stuff of legend, immortalized in Serbian folklore as a symbol of defiance and bravery. Bayezid, now the sole heir to the Ottoman throne, wasted no time in asserting his authority. Upon hearing of his father's death, he had his younger brother Yakub executed, ensuring there would be no challenge to his rule. With the battle still raging, Bayezid took command and rallied the Ottoman forces for one final push. Chapter 5: Aftermath and Consequences. By the end of the day, both armies had been decimated. Prince Lazar was captured by the Ottomans and executed shortly after the battle, leaving Serbia without its strongest leader. With Murad dead and Bayezid now in control, the Ottoman forces regrouped and pressed their advantage in the years that followed. For Serbia, the Battle of Kosovo was a catastrophic blow. The country was left too weak to resist future Ottoman incursions, and over the next few years, most Serbian principalities fell under Ottoman control. The Serbs who had once fought so bravely for their freedom now found themselves vassals to the empire they had tried to stop. Stefan Lazarevic, the son of Prince Lazar, would eventually become an ally of Bayezid, contributing forces to future Ottoman campaigns. In the wake of the battle, Serbian lords faced a choice: submit to Ottoman rule or risk further destruction. Many chose the former, and by 1459, Serbia would formally become an Ottoman province. Chapter 6: The Myth of Kosovo. Though the battle itself ended in devastation, its legacy would only grow stronger over time. In Serbian folklore, the Battle of Kosovo became more than just a military defeat. It became a story of martyrdom, of betrayal, and of divine sacrifice. Prince Lazar was remembered not just as a warrior, but as a saint who chose the heavenly kingdom over the earthly kingdom, sacrificing his life for the greater good of his people. Vuk Brankovic, one of Lazar's closest allies, would come to be remembered in a far darker light. In the years following the battle, he was portrayed as a traitor, fleeing the battlefield and abandoning Lazar at his moment of greatest need. Though historians debate the accuracy of this version of events, the legend of Brankovic's betrayal became deeply ingrained in Serbian tradition. But perhaps the most enduring figure from the Battle of Kosovo is Miloš Obilić, the knight who assassinated Sultan Murad. In Serbian epic poetry, Obilić became a symbol of heroism, a lone warrior standing against the might of an empire. His act of defiance would inspire generations of Serbs, becoming a central motif in the Kosovo myth, a narrative of sacrifice that still resonates today. Chapter 7: Legacy and Significance. Today, the Battle of Kosovo is remembered not just as a pivotal military engagement, but as a foundational moment in the history and identity of the Serbian people. The battle is commemorated every year on Vidovdan, June 28th, a day that has come to symbolize Serbian resilience and the enduring struggle for national sovereignty. But the legacy of Kosovo extends beyond Serbia. In the Muslim world, the tomb of Sultan Murad stands as a reminder of the empire's far-reaching influence. His death, though a symbol of victory for some, is also a poignant reminder of the costs of war. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more fascinating tales from history. Thank you for joining us on this journey through one of the most significant battles in Balkan history.